Welcome to Diffuser Diaries. This is the space for essential oils beginners to learn how to use oils to up-level your skincare and self-care. I'm your host, Izzy Rose, and I'm a certified clinical aromatherapist. I'm here to give you tips, tricks, easy recipes, and science-backed information, all to do with aromatherapy and essential oils. So, put on your diffuser if you have one, grab your favourite oil, and let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to another episode. I am so happy to have you here. It's Izzy with another episode of Diffuser Diaries. Today we are doing a spotlight on all things that women love: PMS, menopause, pregnancy and painful periods, and how essential oils can help. All women that I know struggle in some way with hormone balance, with painful periods. It just seems like we as women are meant to be in pain, and I don't agree with that. I don't feel like we should have to suffer in silence, and anyone that knows me personally, women's health is a massive passion of mine, and I'm always the agony aunt. I've always got something to say. So that's why I want to talk to you about Clary Sage oil today. So let's focus on when the normal women's cycle, when you are ovulating and when you are menstruating. So I don't know whether you know this, but when you can only get pregnant, I think it's around 6 days of your cycle. And that is when you are ovulating, which is right in the middle of your cycle. So you bleed, you have around 7 to 14 days. You ovulate, which is when you're very fertile and you have a massive increase in estrogen. And then as you go towards bleeding, you then have a massive drop in progesterone and estrogen. So why can Clary Sage help this? So when we have the massive drop in estrogen right before our periods, that's when we're low mood, we've got no energy, feel like rubbish. And Clary Sage has been shown that it is a phytoestrogen, which means it mimics the effects of estrogen. So estrogen is produced by the body, but Clary Sage can mimic estrogen. So when it drops, it can then, if you use Clary Sage in that week before or all through your cycle, it can balance out those hormones so you don't get massive drops in hormones. And that can overall make us feel a little bit better. Also, Clary Sage has been shown that it can reduce palpitations and it can help with getting into the parasympathetic nervous system. So if you haven't heard of that, that is so your parasympathetic nervous system is when you're relaxed, when you're chilled, when you're meditating, when you're sleeping, when you're happy, basically, when you're all chill. And then your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight, whether you're feeling anxious and you're feeling stressed. So Clary Sage can help you get into your parasympathetic because it's calming, and it helps to reduce the average heartbeat. As well as this, because it is a phytoestrogen, it can reduce other symptoms of PMS and also help with menopause, because we have these massive drops in estrogen and progesterone when you get to menopause. I actually have a womb blend which I use quite a lot, and that's when I'm getting cramps or before, and I would love to give you the recipe for that. So I'm going to leave a link to a PDF in the show notes. It's completely free, and just go and have a look. And there's 3 oils in there that will blend with Clary Sage really nicely. And by womb blend, I mean I just rub it on my lower belly if I'm getting cramps. So you can get the benefits of Clary Sage in any way you like, whether that is topical application through massage, whether that's diffusing it in the air or in the bath. So as long as you are using them in the correct ratios, then it is going to enter your system and get into your bloodstream and make a difference. I absolutely loved watching Fern McCann, First Time Mum, or I think it's called Fern McCann Family Time or something now, because now she's got a husband. But if anyone's watched it, she breathed her baby out after using Clary Sage in the bath. She didn't have pain relief. She didn't go to hospital. She just literally breathed the baby out. And I was like, wow, this is great, because she was showing that Clary Sage can be used during pregnancy. There's a lot of stigma around using essential oils during pregnancy. Are they safe? Yes, they are. It depends on which oils you're using, and I would consult an aromatherapist if you are going to use oils during pregnancy, because it's very important that you're going to use the correct ones. So if you need advice, you can always contact me, and my email is in the show notes. So if you need any personal advice, please let me know. So as Fern showed, Clary Sage can induce active labour because it helps release oxytocin, which is the hormone that you need when you are going into active labour. And it can help induce happy hormones, serotonin, and it's just an all-round great oil. So I would highly recommend it. It's a beautiful oil. So when you ovulate, that egg has actually been growing in your ovaries for around 100 days. So that means that anything that you've been doing for the last 100 days can be coming out with that ovulation and with that cycle. So any changes that you make may not be immediate, and it may take around 100 days or 3 months for you to feel any sort of effects. But I would definitely bear with it, because Clary Sage, when it's in your bloodstream, and if you use it regularly enough and safely, you will hopefully feel the effects within around that 100-day period. So let me know if you give it a try. As I've said, my email's in the show notes. Let me know if there's any other topics you'd like me to talk about. And I hope you have a lovely week. As always, you can leave me a review. It's always appreciated, as it helps me grow this podcast and spread the good energy around. As mentioned as well, I have left the womb blend in their show notes for you. So go and have a look, and it gives you the exact recipe of what I use for my blend right before my period. So give it a try. Have a lovely week and keep using those oils. Bye. And last of all, for the disclaimer, the guidance in this podcast is for educational purposes, and the advice is intended for home and personal use. Please do not ingest any form of carrier or essential oil. Please respect the oils and never use them recklessly. Always dilute essential oils according to the correct dilution ratios. Diffuser Diaries and its authors accepts no responsibility for any harm caused by the advice taken from this podcast. Please always do your due diligence and your own research